So I was talking about bacteria and pathogens earlier, and there's often outbreaks of Listeria and E. coli with vegetables. A lot of times you'll see it with romaine lettuce. Romaine will be recalled a lot of the times. You'll see it with certain vegetables repeatedly. And this is the number one cause of Listeria outbreaks on their vegetables. And the same thing with E. coli. These parasites, these pathogens and bacteria originate in animals. That's where they originate. The animals excrete their waste. It's then repurposed as manure improperly. It's contaminating the water that is used to, take care of the vegetables that they're growing, and it gets contaminated. And the vegetables end up with Listeria and E. coli, and then it ends up in the supermarkets, and then they have to recall all of these vegetables, right? In and of themselves, they don't get these pathogens. They get them because they've been exposed to animal waste. And many humans consume animals, and they then excrete animals. And sometimes people will end up with UTIs, for example, because the E. coli parasite exists in the rectum when you consume that kind of food. You run the risk of getting a UTI because that exists in your body, because you've consumed food that has that pathogen. And you can't see it. You cannot visibly identify it in your body or on your food. Of course, the biggest risk that you run is that you get exposed to a severe case of food poisoning from Salmonella, E. coli, or trichinosis. This is why they tell you to cook your meats to a certain degree in temperature to make sure that the pathogens are all killed. But at the end of the day, if you weren't eating a dead, rotting piece of flesh, you wouldn't be exposed to these pathogens. You wouldn't run the risk of developing a foodborne illness that could potentially lead to death if you weren't eating that. But I know that what I'm saying is falling on ears that cannot hear, and people are going to keep doing what they're doing. But, they want to attack me because I eat eggs. Okay, whatevs.